Deputy Speaker, Mr. Osita Chidoka, whoever former commercial Federal Republic of Nigeria.
I want to stand on the established protocol. I can see the commercial to the representative of the Enugu so that we can save time as we with two devices, my laptop and my iPad. And that is because I have trust issues. Because in God, yes, it's the where am I supposed to see? I like two devices. Okay. With this to see whether we can, because I want to co-marshal of the Federal Road Safety Corps, government can run immediately. Don't try to listen for help. That day, I saw a modern speed transform into a mission. Her pay was palpable, encouraged her, and inducted her. And from that day, and she said it was a demand. Today, that same mother has conveyed the world as we sit in this room today. We are here because she has proved that grief can build movements and has. So in New York, we have driving reforms that reduce speed limits in New York. Who founded that? Because I needed people, 21 persons died and 31, and I want us to make an assumption that 10 to 20% of those injured eventually died. So we are talking about 10 to 11,000 deaths arising from road crash. 22 people died in those crashes. And 3 generations of the Sultan family died in one senator for more than 8 hours in the villa. Almost 12 hours, if I remember correctly. Almost 12 hours, if I remember correctly. We must stop the planes from falling. We must stop the planes from falling. That aviation intervention fund, then what about $150 million US? If you put it in dollars at the rate of those people have died from 2021 to 2024 by FRS's account. And about FRS's account. And about 350,000 no intervention fund and no systemic reforms. This is a justice issue. It's no more a case of a policy failure. It is a justice matter. It is a justice matter. It is a measure of whose life is more important than not. It is a measure of whose life is more important than not the children of the wealthy in this. A person who should know. I have been commercial and I have been aviation minister. And I have been aviation minister. And I have seen what that 19.5 million did. I've seen what that 19.5 million did. More into crashes. In one more into crashes. In one vote in December alone. And the data get more. And the data get more. 368 or your 320. 368 or your 320. PHCT 905 crashes. PHCT 905 crashes. Ogun 812. Ogun 812. These are the places to solve. Abuja-Nigeria 1,600 between 30 and 40. Our most productive workforce. The people that we have built this economy for, that the people struggling, going from one depot people, are males. So, and we know that 6% are children. Despite our lack of empathy for our male partners who are dying, 6% of our male partners who are dying, 6% of the people who die are our children. The people who die are our children. They died. They died. What is the primary causes of this crash? What is the primary causes of this crashes? Speed, 65%. Speed, 65% speed. Wrongful speed. Wrongful overtaking in Nigeria. And I believe this applies to the rest of Africa. So the FRSC maps the danger, and more importantly, we know the cause. We took it to Sierra Leone, we took it to West African countries, we've shared our knowledge with people around the world. We've shared our knowledge with people around the world. I shared it with Argentina, I shared it with Brazil. You need a lead agency, dedicated, we have this. You need a lead agency, dedicated, we have the core. Then we have a national road safety strategy, headed by the Vice President. So at the scale of the government, the Minister of Works, the report is what you can do to prevent it. Radar guns in some of our key corridors where things are happening. So FRS in Nigeria has not many things correct. But despite that, she's rising. Again, said to us, in 2024, the whole year, there was 9,001 deaths. By September, we have 3,915 deaths, and 11% increase over last year. And injuries, that's 1,024,000 bad news. And we'll figure out why. But there is a big problem. If this trend of 2025 continues, if we do 5,421, which is 2024, by 2030, we rise to about 10,000 if we keep doing 10% increase every year. We will have had over 500 scale of death from any other transport mode. The scale of death from any other transport mode. So, something. Because it could be you, it could be President to the road instead of just. That's my key message today. This is state governments need to put 1.5 to 3% of the hard motorcycles, breathalyzers, physical drivers in debt. Less than $20 million. Not in the Ministry of Works should go now for training for the officers of who do that environment. So these are the things for him. Just 5% over the for any top corridors and put this money to them. We're going to bring. We need to. We must institutionalize meetings at the parents that are sitting at home. We must. It begins when pain meets policy. That's what Justice Monica has done. So 1 billion to fix aviation. Violence by big level. Every journey ends in arrival, not in money. So that justice saves on that. Sound again. You have a
Thank you so much. That was a issue. Your attention is needed at the Mr. Africa on Road Safety, World Bank, Mauritania.
Road Safety on Mauritania. We also have the lead.
Permit me to recognize the presence of the Director General Road Safety Agency of Benin Republic, Mr. Kofi Yete. We also have the representative.
So please, if you're calling your name, I have the director. Bishop of Abuja is great celebrating.
On the already established protocol. I'm standing in very briefly. It takes over from wherever I am. So permit me on this panel to invite. Then we have the panel following. Organization. Dr. Bing represented Tabi Set the stage. Oinange. Gilbert. She's going straight. Gilbert. She's going straight. To very much. Please put your hands together.
Slide.
To very much. Please put your hands together.
Slides earlier, so hopefully they can come back up again. So thanks for having me here. 6-month contract with the UN, but now 6-month contract with the UN, but now 15 years later, I find myself here from roads. We know that in most cities around Africa, transport on protecting people and through our society. Any chance of those slides that you were showing earlier? So we and UNECA, we have been developing a clicker, or you want to go to the next? Great. Where do you need me to stand for it to work? So we did some research a few years ago about how important data is. So we looked at existing data sets from WHC, and we looked at on the continent have any sort of active mobility or level. So at least that's reporting on any kind of KPI. Next slide, please. I think for me, the biggest impactful information and cycling on the continent, mode of transport, with the highest average in the world of around 1 billion people are walking and cycling every day. We know the modal share. National and city governments, from development partners, even from UN people who are walking and cycling every day. Number one, there's hardly any data, and we all know if you do it for the continent, is being channeled. The system that's been designed around me, Accra is actually one, it's not safe, and two, it's not very comfortable. At the same time, we have the answers. We know what needs to be done. This states NMT on which stations in our industry. There's no motorbike taxi, there's no bus, equally, if not more important. Now taking us to the sort of the focus of what we're here for, we know that Africa is the least safe place in the world to walk because we have 100,000 people who are killed every year. But at the same time, we only have 3% of the world's victims. And if you think about that 100,000 people, it's like a sold-out football stadium. But at the same time, as I mentioned, we've been working with WHO and UN Habitat and African Union, and also colleagues now from international and keep talking about this, or we can find the solutions. So we could, with a very limited. Next slide. And I mentioned, next slide, thanks. We've got a lot of best practice. We can look at examples of the right thing to do all over the continent. We don't need to go on any study tours to the Netherlands. We can stay right here. We can go to Nairobi, who launched their walking and cycling to Kigali, Rwanda, who days every 2 weeks with thousands of people taken to the streets in a safe way. We can go to Ethiopia, next slide, who has really strong national and city policies and infrastructure budgets. Next slide. Framework that anyone in this room can pick up to be guided on all the things that need to be done. Next slide. We have 5 flagship countries that you can see here, one from every sub-region. We've already added Uganda, who've asked the ministries in the break and get added to that list. Next slide. So the action plan really just covers 3 key areas. One is very much about we just got to make the infrastructure as safe as the space. 2 is all around the advocacy, and 3 is around the policy and investment. Next slide. So it's a one, and we really just see it as the first step, but at least we can be united together. Next slide. So thank you very much. I'm here for the rest of today and tomorrow. Please come and chat to me about walking and cycling. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You need to go back. You are in the panel, so please take your seat at once. Ladies and gentlemen, permit me to invite the rest of the panel members. The rest of the members of the panel. I'm told Dr. Binta will be presenting online, so let's have Mr. Musa Ibrahim, Road Transport and Mass Transit Administration, Department of the Federal Ministry of Transportation. We also have Dr. Peter Mba, His Excellency, the executive by the Secretary of Government. Just please let's put our hands together to welcome him to the head table. Let's welcome together Dr. Ezenwo Ike, who is represented by the Transport Secretary. To proceed, we want to have a quick sound.
Gentlemen and ladies, good morning once again. We're going to be having a special presentation. His name including Originary, which was Uche Chukwume region.
That no driver on the road are late for work or rushing to pick the children from school. If it was within my power, I would make it so that no driver on the road is ever in a hurry. If I could, I would make it so that if a person is drunk, I would make it so that the car will not start until you wear your seatbelt. That the bike will not start until you put on your helmet. God will not walk in your heart when you're behind the wheels of your car. If I could, I'll take all the well-designed multiple lane highways with safety barriers, clearly marked out lanes, respecting hard shoulders. If I could, but I can't. Because this is a problem that no individual, no matter how handsome like me, or talented, or powerful or connected, no single individual can solve. For just as it takes a village to raise a child, so too an organization, everybody working from dying on the road. And until we realize this, that no matter how much money you have, it cannot protect you from all the consequences of living in a society where there is no oxygen in public hospitals, where the common good is commonly neglected in favor of partisan ethnic interests. No matter how powerful you are, one day the consequence or your daughter, when you come around that corner at speed, avoiding that pothole on that badly designed road, and find yourself confronted by a truck with no road, no room to maneuver, on that day you realize that calamity, man-made calamity, does not care if you're an Hausa or Fulani, Igbo, Northern or Southern, Christian or Muslim, it will crush you. If we do not rise above our differences to build a better society, then the society we have built, one day it will kill all of us. So let me end with this sloppy jalopina, straight tear-over, fitted with sat-nav, TV in the back, a banging sound system, fog lights in the dark. It was my pockets could bear it, I'll buy me a... Okay, fill the potholes and chase the armed robber that's waiting to rob you at Lokoja. Wait, should he also come and rewire your brain? You don't have to die or be flown to India when you tumble it, so that prayer above the pile of Abuja-Nigeria. Don't put it on God and don't blame the devil. You just can't escape the fate of the society you live in. as there is no road. Thank you.
Presentation by Mr. D.K. Uche Chukwumeriju. I would like to specially acknowledge the